Comments from Agassi breaking his opponent down. He's so right. On a grass court, that just does not happen. And it is humid out here today. Temperatures in the, I would think, the high 80s, Leaf, and we'll see how both players handle the humidity. Agassi's coach, the ever-present Brad Gilbert, in the corner, and both these players now getting a big pre-match hand from this crowd. Big turnout on Saturday afternoon.
Well, it's so interesting to hear Agassi talk about his game. The great champions always seem to have a great feel for what they can do on a tennis court. Agassi no different. He knows the surface, what it can do for him, and he flourishes on it. Norm Christ in the chair, one of the ATP Tour officials who travels full-time.
Oh, we're ready to go, and Agassi starts with a floater. A big return of serve off Justin's serve out wide. Gimelstob watched that ball leave, and I thought he was going to volley it and let it go. Bad mistake to start the match. Love 15. Gimelstob looking up. Now, this has got to be a big moment for him. He played right here at UCLA and has a big following in the Los Angeles area. Big serve down the middle. 123 miles per hour on the radar gun. I think that's going to be the key today, don't you, the serve?
Absolutely. How well Justin serves. He's got to hold his serve. He can do that, stay in the match. Certainly he has to be feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous here in the opening moments, but that serve showed that he's ready to go.
Will go long. Gimelstob with that very easy motion on the serve, Leaf.
Well, it's something he's been working on, and it's only gotten better. Again, he really gets up underneath the ball. Really snaps down on it. Again, not serving and volleying on that last point. I'm sure Elliot Telcher would like to see him get behind that big serve. Here's a better play.
Agassi again, quickly to his right, hits the cross court. And all of a sudden, Gimelstob in trouble early, 15-40. Gimelstob taking some extra time before this big point. That's long. Second serve, double break point, 15-40. Return. That's good. No, it's long. Gimelstob over with the backhand, and Agassi has broken in the first game of the first set. Stay with us. We're at the Mercedes-Benz Cup, UCLA. Agassi, 1-love, first set. Center court, UCLA Tennis Center, as Vince Van Patten mentioned, built in 1984 for the test match, if you will, of the tennis that year, and then tennis became an official sport 4 years later. Agassi up now, 1-love with a break. We'll see how he plays with that break. Leave. It's always nice to get an early break in a set, which he already has. Starts with a double fault.
I think when Agassi came out to this match and he realized he'd be returning, he wanted to get that break early. Now he's got it. But again, when you get that break, you want to hold your serve, consolidate the advantage.
Love 15. It's wide. You can see that side lines person behind Gimelstob has moved over, getting a shot inside there. Deep second serve, 15-all.
Boy, that's a play that Gimelstob has to make. When you get a second serve from your opponent and you've got the edge by winning the opening point of the game, you really want to put the pressure on him. So a good chance there. But again, Gimelstob feels he's got to create something special, try and hurt Agassi.
That's wide.
So I think today you'll see Gimelstob maybe making a few more mistakes. But I think in his mind he's saying, hey, I've got to try and take some chances, maybe make a few errors to get a few points on my side.
Well, a chance now, 15-30. Down the center. And the great Jack Kramer, who was the tournament director here for so many years, once said, Leaf, show me a great tennis player and I'll show you a guy with a good second serve. And I think Agassi's second serve may be one of the best in the game today.
Well, it's definitely improved. He's hitting it deeper. It's got a lot of high bounce on it, so it's tough to attack.
Oh, yes, Gimelstob with his best return of the day. Forehand down the line. Beautiful return. 30.
Well, this is the kind of aggressive play he needs today. Look at the return. He goes for it right down the line, but look at the reaction. He's moving forward. in case Agassi gets that ball. Good play from Gimelstob.
Agassi again right back with a first serve when he's down 30-40. Good play. Took a little off that first serve.
Well, you'll see Agassi do that a lot today. He likes to throw that twist out wide to the right-hander's backhand. Really opens up the court for him to tack into.
Second serve. Both the opening service games for both players very difficult now. Both players struggling a bit on their own serve. It's good. Oh, that's excellent. Good footwork from Gimelstob.
Again, Gimelstob aggressive from the back with that backhand drive. And when he saw that the backhand drive had hurt Agassi, watch how he moves forward very quickly. That's a great play. Great recognition.
The top of the racket, it'll go way long. Gimelstob at 6'5". I'll tell you, he's a big strider. When he takes one big stride, Agassi takes two for the same distance. Pace. Oh, that's great. Look out. He'll get it. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, I don't believe it. That is a sensational point. Oh. Agassi, 3 or 4 balls looked like they were winners. Somehow he gets his racket on the ball and finally wins that point lead.
Well, Gimelstob does everything right this point, and it's just too bad he doesn't win it. But look what it takes for Agassi to win it.
Listen,
look at how he hits a topspin shot off that. The low ball cross court. Wow. Unbelievable.
From another angle, and you can hear this crowd. This crowd went crazy at the end of that point. That's what they come to see. Now Agassi with the ad, taking a little time to get some air. That was the point of the year as far as I'm concerned, Lee. I haven't seen a better point than that since we started back in January. That's wide, and so Agassi gets out of trouble. He holds 2 games to love. Agassi.
Agassi leads 2 games to love.
Well, I tell you, Agassi, a real big boost for him after he struggled in Europe was coming back and getting on the hard courts. A big win in Davis Cup. But look at his tournament record this year, 34-5. Of course, Rios, Enquist, Korda, and Sampras all playing well on the hard, but no one better than Andre Agassi. And he's showing that here today. He can play great defense. He can mix up the offense. And when you play him on a hard court, you're going to be putting in some miles. He's going to make your run.
It's interesting what he said earlier there, that on a hard court, he can use his weapon, which is getting that ball to the corner. Just wide. Gimelstob's got to be wondering, I think at this point, Lee, what does he have to do to win points?
Well, he's still attacking. You know, you can't give up your game plan when you're only down 2-0 here. He's got to stay aggressive. He's definitely not going to out-rally Agassi. So he's going to win this game from the forecourt.
Saw Justin checking the sun there from the far side. That will be the tough side to serve from. Clean winner on the return from Agassi. Cross court.
15 all.
Well, Gimelstob has played well. He beat Vacek in the opening round convincingly. A retirement from Vince Spadea, the young American. Of course, Patrick Rafter in the quarterfinals. So he's come through pretty comfortably. He likes playing on this court. He's played a year of college tennis here. Of course, people forget that he pretty much grew up here in LA playing a lot of tennis. He was coached by Robert Lansdorp when he was 14. Justin used to come out here during the summers. And then when he was 16 and 17, before he went to UCLA, he also spent time out here again with Lansdorp. So he's very comfortable playing in Los Angeles.
That is Pauley Pavilion to the right-hand side of your picture there, just behind this great tennis complex. Site of those great UCLA basketball runs through the years. 15-30. Agassi, another chance to break. And as a server, if you get up to serve against Agassi, you say to yourself, should I go for a big first serve or should I try and maybe take a little bit off? Because this guy is returning so well.
And oftentimes, the harder you hit your first serve, the harder it comes back to you. So you really have to get a feel for what's working at the time. I can tell you what isn't working for Justin Gimelstob is his second serve. Agassi is really making him pay for it when he misses that first serve. It sets up this chance here. Look at this from the midcourt. He brushes up the back of the ball, brings it down with that top spin. Boy, he has put his signature on that shot. It's kind of like the Sampras flying overhead.
Yeah.
Agassi's trademark is the swinging forehand volley.
Double break point, 15-40. We'll let it go. Well, when we last saw Andre here on Fox Sports Net, he was on a roll in Washington. 1 in love and 2 in love in his semi and final matches last week. That was sensational.
And Gimelstob has yet to get on the board today. And that can be an uneasy feeling when you're not yet on the board. You look over the scoreboard, you see the donut next to your name.
He touches the net, and so Agassi breaks for the second time. The number 5 seed, Andre Agassi, on a roll.
Agassi leads.
This was one of the greatest points we have seen all year long. Stay with us. 3 games to love. Andre Agassi with 2 service breaks here early in the first set. And he's got to have Gimelstob rattled slightly, Lee, with that one unbelievable point.
Well, 2 breaks to serve, and Gimelstob playing great, but Agassi playing even better, topping him with that passing shot, the running pass. Well, that's one of the best points we've seen all season, if not in a long time. Agassi beating Bob Bryan, the NCAA champion from Stanford, now a tour pro in the first round. And again, another young American hopeful, Jan Michael Gamble, 6'4", 6'4", and the young Australian Sandon Stolle, Fred Stolle's son, 7'6", 6'2". So Agassi playing great tennis. He's not lost a set here. In fact, he didn't lose a set last week, as we well know.
It was just sensational those last 2 days in Washington. Another mishit from Gimelstob, starting to talk to himself now.
You know, and I mentioned this last week in Washington about how when Agassi plays well, I mean, he can beat you badly. He can give you a spanking. Where Pete Sampras, when he beats you, it's 6'4", 6'4", and you never feel you're close. But Agassi makes you walk away feeling smarted.
Gimelstob finally rolls that forehand cross court. He needs some good shots here, Leaf.
Well, this is a little confidence booster. Certainly Gimelstob is known as one of the more lively guys on tour. He's got a lot of energy on court, and he's saying, come on, trying to build some energy, some momentum. Well, look at Agassi really putting Gimelstob on the run. And a lucky break for the young American, and he'll take it, I'll tell you. He's fighting down now another game point for Agassi.
Big points for Gimelstob. He needs to get back in this first set. Down 2 breaks, and now game point for Agassi to go up 4. And so Agassi now at 4-love. Well, let's go courtside now, where Vince Van Patten is with the coach of Gimelstob, Elliot Telscher. Vince.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with Elliot Telscher. Elliot, Justin's down 4-love. What does he have to do to get back in? What do you think?
Get into some of the points and get his feet moving a little better and try to keep his head a little more still, but I think he's nervous. His head's moving a little bit and his feet aren't quite going. I'm not sure he slept all that much last night, and he just needs to try to get into it a little bit, and I think then he'll be fine.
Elliot Telscher, one of the fine collegiate players from UCLA, giving us some advice, and certainly he would love to give Gimelstob some advice. Watching the coaching experiment this week, using it here, this tournament. Justin just catches the tape. Elliot Telscher will be able to come out onto the court at the first break of the second set, and we'll cover it for you. And it's an experiment on the ATP Tour's point to see if players like it, number one, and if the fans like it, Leaf. I think it's kind of an interesting experiment.
I think the fans do like it. I think they like the interaction. They like to see some of the coaches influencing these players. Certainly a match like this, it could change the whole match. Certainly Agassi dominating might give Gimelstob a chance to get his thing together, figure out a way to get it done here. Certainly Agassi posing a big problem for him right now. 2 breaks down in the opening set.
Telscher, who played at UCLA, had played a big match against John McEnroe as Gimelstob double faults again. Telscher and McEnroe had a fantastic collegiate match right here at UCLA in the old days. Telscher went on to win some big tournaments, including the Transamerica up in San Francisco. That was years ago, 1981. Love 30. Gimelstob now in trouble again. Agassi uncorks another forehand right on the baseline. It skids off the baseline.
Well, a long time ago, a guy by the name of Jimmy Connors said, I got the best service return. I think Andre Agassi is saying, no, I have the best service return of all time. And that's an example why. He takes the ball early. He never seems to be overhitting. Compact. But yeah, with tremendous power. Tremendous power.
Triple break point. That's wide. Agassi will be inside that baseline to return this serve. There he is on the line, but he'll move in. And Gimelstob double faults. His second of the match. 5-love. Agassi first set. The audience today, he's been around most of the week, loves tennis. Chatting with some of the guys in the locker room, and he is out again today. Agassi now to serve for the set.
Now, they're not before your time, Barry, but he's the drummer for a great band called Fleetwood Mac. I know you must know those guys.
I've heard of Fleetwood Mac. Thanks very much. You know, those of us in our 80s, we remember Fleetwood Mac. All right, Agassi to serve for the first set. What a show Agassi has put on thus far today. I think he's playing better today, Leaf, than when we left him in Washington. Finally, Gimelstob with a winner on the baseline. Love 15.
There were a couple of key points early in the match that Gimelstob should have won that Agassi did not allow him to win. And when you can't win the points you're supposed to, you really get into trouble. And Agassi really put Gimelstob in some heat today.
15 all.
Of course, Gimelstob led the UCLA team back in '96 to the team finals. And the team was undefeated. It was a chance for Billy Martin, the coach at UCLA, to win his first team championship. Undefeated going in the finals, and they lost to Stanford University. So Dick Gould racked up another title back in '96, and Billy Martin goes back to the drawing board to try and get that title.
Gimelstob gets a break. I'll tell you, he needs some right now. 30 all.
Of course, that same year, Gimelstob won the NCAA doubles championships. And here's a look at this net court. A little bit of a break for the young American. He needs those, boy, doesn't he, Barry?
Agassi just saw that ball, didn't even try to get it.
No chance for that one, huh?
With a 5-love lead, you can let a few balls go. The tape again, and now Agassi with his first set point, 40-30, 5-love. This match only 22 minutes old, and Agassi, as we know, Leaf, loves to play fast. Boy, when he gets on a roll, he bounces that ball, moves over, starts the next point. Miss hit, and Agassi has won the first set. 6 games to love. As Brad Gilbert and his son Zach look on, he's got to be happy with the results thus far today.
Well, you know, I've played Agassi a couple times, and you never feel like you're comfortable. You're always reacting to what he's doing. You know, you're on the run, left, right, and you never feel like you're dictating play. And I'm sure that's what Justin Gimelstob is feeling now. He's feeling like, I can't establish my game.
What's going through Gimelstob's mind, losing that first set 6-love, Leaf? Is he going to say, hey, I got to totally change what I'm doing out here? Or does he have the ability to do that?
I think right now he's got to stay with his plan, but he's got to do it better. He needs to get more first serves in, and he's got to be more consistent in his attack. And there's not much you can do there. He made a pretty good serve. Agassi with just a better return. Again, it's not a bad serve out wide. Agassi stretched. Gimelstob just can't cover it. But I'd say stay on the attack, or certainly look to attack when you can.
Love 15. To me, this is a huge game for Gimelstob. He needs to hold. He must hold serve here to get into this match. First game, second set. Love 15. It's wide. Because Gimelstob, Leaf, at this point, has got to be saying to himself, is it possible I could lose to Agassi? Love and love? Really, that's going to run through his mind.
Well, just ask Wayne Ferreira. In the semifinals in Washington last week, Agassi beat him 6-1, 6-0. Ferreira is a former top 10 player, pushing to get back into the top 10, and Agassi really undressed him.
These are unbelievable scores when you think it's like somebody shooting a 63 in golf or a 61 or a 59. You know, I mean, it's amazing what he's doing. Gimelstob finally gets a good short ball and puts it away.
That was a great play. You can see he's going to drive this ball cross court, so he hits it early. And Gimelstob, excuse me, hasn't seen that short ball in the middle of the court.
That's right. Very few short balls. Agassi hitting that ball right on the baseline.
Another chance. It's a good approach shot.
Andre stops quickly, gets his racket on the ball, but it goes long. 30. So from love 30 down now, Gimelstob 30 all. Goes for it and hits the winner. Once again, Agassi with a big chance goes for it.
Well, one of the problems about playing down the line is you leave a lot of open court, and you can see Gimelstob's going to try and drive this ball up the line, but Agassi's right there. Look at all the ground now that Gimelstob has to cover. You got to play the ball more to the middle and cross court if you're out of position.
Break point, first game, second set. Ooh, now chance for Agassi, second serve. Good. And beautiful backhand volley to finish it off from Gimelstob.
Justin Gimelstob plays the best point of the match for him, and he's just getting back to deuce. But again, he showed great variety at that point, Barry. You saw he played some underspin backhands, and I think that kept him in the point. I hope he learns from this point that underspin backhand is a great play against Andre Agassi.
Second best point of the match, no question about it. That great point with Agassi's forehand was. Is that a time warning?
Gimelstob not taking the 30 seconds to start the point.
Wow. Norm Christ.
Excuse me, Barry, I believe it's 25 seconds now.
Yeah, he went over the limit, and Norm Christ in the chair with the stopwatch up there. Give him a warning. Too much time.
I'd almost take the warning too after a point like that.
Gimelstob shook up by that call. Goes for a double fault. His third of the day.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes you can put so much energy into one point that the next point you play, there's almost a letdown. And again, Gimelstob has to be careful. He's got to maintain a very high level here just to stay with Agassi. This is a real test for him to see how tough he can be. How good a player am I? I think Gimelstob got a break on that call on the baseline. Agassi had a look at it, but he's not going to let it bother him. Again, a big point here. First game of the second set. And this could really tell how this second set goes. If Gimelstob can get a hold, he's going to draw a line in the sand. Should Agassi break, he's off to the races.
Gimelstob trying to slice out wide, just catches the tape. Second serve again. Look at the concentration from Agassi. Gimelstob with an approach. It works. And now Justin Gimelstob serves to hold here in the first game of the second set.
I think Gimelstob has learned a little bit from losing those last few games about keeping the ball down the line. He's having more success when he plays his backhand back cross court. The point seems to develop more in his favor. You could hear Justin saying, now what was that? Not a good first serve. Here's a better second serve.
Agassi goes for it. And Gimelstob says, come on, let's get in this thing. One love, Gimelstob. Second set, Agassi with the first 6 love. Stay with us. We're in Los Angeles at the Mercedes-Benz Cup. Center court, UCLA Tennis Center, and a red-hot Andre Agassi with the first set, 6 love. Gimelstob in a very crucial game there at the first of the second set. Hold serve. And as we mentioned to you on the changeover, both coaches came out to chat with their players, Brad Gilbert and Elliot Telscher. No, it's long. As we mentioned, some coaching experiments this week, and here's Agassi chatting with Gilbert at the start of the second set. There's Elliot Telscher on the right, imparting some wisdom. What do you think, Leaf? You like the idea of coaching the way it's structured, or would you rather see a coach be out there, let's say, at every game change, like Davis Cup?
I'm still undecided. I like the idea of coming in at the end of a set. I think it's better to allow the players some benefit. That they need to develop the game on their own. But I think just that touch at the end of set is enough to maybe help the tennis and improve it and make it a better product for all of us to see. So I think a little bit is enough, but maybe every game is too much.
I'm not going to pussyfoot around. I don't like it, personally. If they're going to have coaching, let's have it full blast. In other words, just like the Davis Cup. I thought that was a great, it's a great part of Davis Cup. It's another element. So I feel if you're going to have coaching, let's go for it. Don't kind of do this thing where they come out and wander out at the end of the first set. You know, got to have an opinion every once in a while. So. That's good. Has him on a string.
Gimelstob puts on some great pressure here, and this just tells you how tough Andre Agassi is. I mean, first the topspin lob opens up the court, gives him time, and he puts that ball right on a dime, right in the corner.
40-15.
He can hurt you so many ways when you're attacking.
The lob was so well timed. Gimelstob 6'5", and Agassi got that ball just in the right position, stretched him out. Yes. Gimelstob uncorks his best return. Deep forehand.
Boy, that's a good game from Andre Agassi. You know, he reestablished that he is in this set.
1 game all.
You know, and it's hard to imagine that last year Gimelstob beat Agassi here. 7-5, 6-2 in the opening round. I mean, that was a different Andre Agassi from the one we're seeing today. I mean, this is Andre Agassi at the top of his game. He's in control of his emotions. His focus is almost perfect. His execution is right on.
Well, his confidence level is about as high as we've seen it in over a year. Again, the winner on the return from Agassi, cross court.
Love, 15.
Again, this serve just doesn't do enough. Right into Agassi's forehand. Notice how he slides to the middle, comes right into the forehand.
Just long.
15.
When he misses, he does not miss by much. That ball just over the baseline. first serve.
It certainly has been a long rehabilitation of a champion for Andre Agassi. I think in our Open we really showcased how far Andre had sunk. His ranking was,
141.
way down, 140. And now people are talking about, hey, this is Agassi again who could win the U.S. Open like he did back in '94. Runner up there again in '95. And this is the good aggressive tennis you want to see from Justin Gimelstob.
Wow.
Stretch Agassi out.
Second ace of the match for Gimelstob, 30-15. I'll tell you, as a server, as a guy who doesn't like to get into rallies, Gimelstob needs to hit a few more aces at this point, Lee, because he is not going to win too many rallies. Good deep shot from Gimelstob on the baseline. And so
15.
Again, great preparation on the Gimelstob backhand. Good shoulder turn. Watch how he gets the shoulder around. And then the drive. He really flattens it out beautifully. The racket face is nice and flat on the ball when he hits it.
– 126 miles per hour, one of his biggest serves, just missed. Double fault. His fourth of the match, just over that service line.
Out from here.
And Justin can't struggle on his serve. And
You heard Norm Chris there verifying the calls as Justin questioned. Chris saying both balls looked out to me. He's the final judge. Oh, yes, big second serve down the center, and Gimelstob runs over to the changeover chair. That's one of his patented moves. Justin Gimelstob holds 2-1 Gimelstob. Second set. 2-1. Gimelstob leading here in this semifinal match at the Mercedes-Benz Cup, UCLA. He serves down 1-2.
50.
We talked about the draw earlier in the show, but another look at it here as Rafter was upset by Gimelstob up on top lead. But tonight, a big match between Henman and Raoux, the Frenchman. Henman, very tough player on this surface.
Henman looked fabulous. His serve is bigger than ever. He's serving at 134, 135. And he's really showcasing his all-court game on the hard courts here.
Tim Henman, who the British folks are hoping will be the first Brit to win Wimbledon since Fred Perry. Great run at Wimbledon this year, getting to the semis. We'll have that match for you tonight. Tim Henman and Raoux. Check your local listings. We'll be here on Fox Sports Net.
Guillaume Roux, the Frenchman, he upset Goran Ivanisevic in the opening round. That was Ivanisevic's first match since his Wimbledon final disaster, as he calls it, against Pete Sampras. But so he struggled here, but Raoux took advantage of it. He's through.
Wow. No, it's overhit. And so Agassi holds. We're at 2-games all. Second set. Let's go courtside now, where Vince Van Patten is with Brad Gilbert. Vince.
Yes, I'm here with my my old doubles partner and good friend Brad Gilbert, who's obviously Andre's coach. He won the first set, cruised the first set. Now they're on serve. What do you think, Brad? And what did you tell him? What did you tell him during the changeover?
I told him to keep the pressure on because right now I think Justin's a little tired, and I think he's going to start taking a little more offense. And he's also made the adjustment. He's standing back on the return to give himself a little longer look. But more importantly, the guy looks a little physically tired, so just keep the pressure on. No let up.
It was just about 7 months ago that I saw you in Burbank with Andre, when Andre's ranking had fallen to about 100 and something, and he had to play a small tournament just to get some confidence. And you've really done a great job with him. I guess it's all paying off, right?
it's like a good player going down to minor leagues and discovering a stroke a little bit. And he just needed some matches. You know, it's not exactly where he wanted to be at that time, but that's what he had to do to get back to match form.
You think Andre could win the U.S. Open, Brad? What do you think?
Well, you know what? It's all about peaking at the right time. And right now he's starting to find the stride a little bit. You know, the Open's still about 4 weeks away, and right now he's finding his form at the right time.
15 all.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, Vince. Brad Gilbert, who certainly has had a very successful run since starting the coaching job with Andre Agassi. 15 all now. 5th game, 2nd set.
Tell you what, that's a doubles team I'd like to see play. Van Patten and Gilbert. There's a lot of motion going on that side of the court. Because Van Patten was one of the fastest guys on the court, and Gilbert had probably, more energy on the court than a lot of other guys.
There would be no lack of communication with that team, that's for sure. This Van Patten is with us today. A couple of big wins over in Japan against John McEnroe in the 80s. And if McEnroe's listening today, I'm sure he'll be delighted to recall those matches.
John is here in L.A., although I don't believe he's at the matches today.
Really?
He was playing tennis at Van Patten's court this morning. Because Vince Van Patten has a great red clay court in his backyard.
40-50.
Gimelstob lines up this beautiful backhand. Look at that. He stays down on the ball. You know, when your weight is down, you can see he really strides through that swing. Just boom, right on the ball.
Finally, Gimelstob putting together some good service games, holding his serve easily, which he needs to do. Good approach. That'll go wide. And so Gimelstob yells again, runs over to the chair. 3-2, 2nd set.
Gimelstob leads 3-2.
Southern California sun. Beaches are packed today, but an excellent turnout here as we look at some of the ball kids who have done a wonderful job all week long. Agassi, beautiful touch volley cross court.
15.
Well, Gimelstob is playing better tennis. You can see this is a tough shot for Andre Agassi to play. Again, Gimelstob puts some pressure on Agassi. Watch how Agassi opens up the racket face. Gets a little bit of angle cross court. Trouble.
Ooh, just long. Listen to this. Looked like it hit on the line. Let's listen.
You just didn't do that, did you? You know Justin wasn't even calling that out. He looked at it and it looked like it was going out and you just missed a horrendous call.
Wow. You heard it. Agassi not happy with that call, saying that Norm Chris just missed a big opportunity to overrule, if you will.
Well, we might get another look at it here. It's a little bit of a mishit from Andre Agassi. The ball landing very close to the line. And Norm Chris must have seen a gap. Because his rules are to, hey, overrule if there's a clear error. So he must have seen a gap between the ball and the line.
You know, what's interesting, Leaf, is this crowd is definitely, at least on that point, of course, but maybe it was the call that affected them, but they were pulling for Agassi to come back on that shot.
I think this crowd appreciates the exciting brand of Agassi tennis. I mean, this guy, he can really thrill a crowd with his shot making. His ability to take the ball early, the power he plays with, and the consistency.
Midcourt. And Andre with a clean winner up the line off the forehand.
3 games all.
When Andre Agassi has time, he can really punish you. I mean, he just has such great timing on the forehand. You know, when he sets up for the forehand, he uses not only his arm and his shoulder, but he also gets that trunk rotation, which is so remarkable. Generates so much pace and racket head speed. And Barry, back in your era, guys weren't hitting the ball like that.
No.
You know, now
not
he's
consistently.
Really, that's right. These guys have changed the way tennis is played. I mean, you have to have a power stroke now to make it in the pro tennis game.
the sideline. Agassi has another look. That ball bounces, skids off the line. 15 love.
When Gimelstob's at the net, he's pretty tough to pass. Remember, he's 6'5", so when he steps out, he covers a lot of court, and that's a nice backhand volley, angled up the line.
Let and a fault.
And if you're 6'5", I mean, you have to be at the net. You have to use that advantage, your reach, your height. Make yourself a tough obstacle up there to get the ball by.
No, Gimelstob going for a big second serve. Serves up his 5th double of the match.
Gimelstob, the middle 3 brothers, his younger brother Russell, and the older brother Josh. Of course, his father Barry has been an ardent supporter of his tennis career. That's a good play from Gimelstob. You can see the Agassi return didn't have enough on it, and it gave Gimelstob some time. Normally, Agassi makes you pay for those second serves, but this time, a slam dunk for Justin Gimelstob.
Well, we went into about the 4th row of the seats, and the seats are about 10 feet high in that front section. Gimelstob, 115 miles per hour out wide. His 4th ace of the day. No. Agassi out wide, and it goes wide. I'm Barry McKay, along with Lee Shivers, bringing you semifinal action on Fox Sports Net from the UCLA Tennis Center in West Los Angeles. The Mercedes-Benz Cup, as Andre Agassi has won the first set 6-love. It is 3 games all second set. Gimelstob serving at 40-30. Off the top of Andre's racket, and again Gimelstob runs over. Gimelstob 4-3 second set. 4-3. Justin Gimelstob leading now as he is crawling his way back into this match. A tough assignment after losing that first set 6-love. Agassi to serve, up 4-3. And one of the few errors from Agassi. Let's go courtside where Vince Van Patten's with Billy Crystal. Vince.
This is the biggest one I've ever seen. Did you see? Yeah. Hey, I'm here with one of the greatest players of all time, at least the funniest, Billy Crystal. How you doing, Billy?
Doing okay.
This is a heck of a match. Andre just blew him out the first. Do you think Gimelstob's getting back in here? What do you think?
He's playing very well now. I mean, Andre just tore through him the first set. And there's another good shot. He's getting some confidence. Well, maybe not.
You played Monday night, I know, and they said you were so funny, and then you hurt yourself, didn't you? Tell us about that.
Well, I had 20-year-old instincts and 50-year-old legs. I was rattling with Andre. It actually was very thrilling to be at center court and hitting with him. And I went to go to the net, and something popped in the back of my calf. I ripped my calf muscle. So here I am.
Now, will you go to the U.S. Open, perhaps, and watch Andre play?
Well, now that I can't play, I mean, there's no sense for me to go. I'd rather sit home and watch it on TV. I mean, this was my big shot. You know, what a story. 50-year-old comics takes Open. Forget about it. But, I don't know. I'm just so down.
I'm sure you're going to come back. Thanks, Billy.
That's great. Well, we were all set to buy some reserve seat tickets, Vince, for that match at the Open, but tell Billy we're awfully disappointed. We hope he cures up very quickly.
Well, Crystal has a great backcourt game, and I think he would have given Sampras a handful.
I'm sure the U.S. Open Committee will continue to hold a wild card for Billy Crystal.
Anytime.
That's too good. Agassi rolls it cross court. 4 games all second set. Every night at 10 on Fox Sports Net, it's Fox Sports News Primetime. All the scores, all the highlights, and all the breaking stories covering your hometown teams 7 nights a week. We are there. Fox Sports News Primetime every night at 10. Check your local listings. Really watch closely. You might even catch Billy Crystal with an injury on Fox Sports News.
Well, I think we can all relate to the 20-year-old instincts and 39-year-old legs in my case. one of the keys really, and funny enough, Billy Crystal has it right, but Gimelstob is moving better.
Yeah.
He's starting to move better. He's playing himself into the points, and he's not allowing Agassi to dictate play. Plus, he's a little more consistent in his attack.
That's a great shot.
Again, the underspin backhand paying off for Gimelstob. It allows him to get into the point, and it allows him to put the pressure on Agassi to win the point. Watch Gimelstob now. Stays down on the drive. He found an opening down the line and made it beautifully. And again, a good reaction. He's building momentum, building confidence.
I'll tell you, he's an emotional player. I love watching Justin. He really gets fired up.
I think he's a great kid. And certainly the USTA has to be proud of his development. They've been involved all the way down the road. Elliot Telcher, a part of the USTA program. Harold Solomon is his normal coach, but with an agreement with the USTA, Elliot Telcher comes to about 10 weeks of tennis. So Gimelstob has got some good minds working with him to make him a good player. And Gimelstob has had some great influences. Certainly Lansdorp out here in LA. Lansdorp, one of the great coaches working over at the Riviera. And through the years, I know his father Barry has gotten involved with Paul Anacone, Butch Waltz. He's had a lot of good feedback from a number of good coaches. And I think now that he's got one or two coaches, that's the way it should be.
That's too good. Short volley, and Agassi takes his time, lines it up, and just drills it down the line.
40-30.
Agassi's great on the serve and volley, but he's also great on the second shot.
Now that 40-love lead getting a little tighter here. 40-30, big point. It's a fault. Just catches the racket again. Agassi with a lot of time on the second shot.
So Gimelstob got caught in no man's land. He really got caught in the middle of the court. You can see where Gimelstob is when he plays that volley. So he's in the middle of the court, and it doesn't allow him enough time to get in a good position. Agassi found that opening cross court, even with the good stretch from Gimelstob.
Gimelstob with one of his biggest serves of the day, 125 miles per hour, right down the center when he needs it. And another big serve, and so Justin Gimelstob gets out of trouble. 5 games to 4, Justin Gimelstob. When we return, Agassi serves to stay in the first set. Packed house here at the UCLA Tennis Center for this semifinal match. Mercedes-Benz Cup as Agassi checks the sun. Serving now at 4-5. Second set. He has the first 6-love. This match now 1 hour old. Stop. Hit that ball very deep, just over hits it.
Again, he's trying to play aggressively. If he makes a few mistakes, that's fine, as long as you learn from them. He's playing the right game now.
Easy put away forehand volley. Agassi with that deep approach shot.
It was a good game from Agassi. You know, you're getting late in the match here, late in the second set. You want to put the pressure back on your young opponent. Of course, Gimelstob, should Agassi hold, will have to serve at 5 games all. And those are the pressure moments. Agassi likes that.
And a very quick game. The quickest game on Agassi's serve. Gets him to 5 games all.
5 games all.
And as you said, Lee, boy, you love to have a game like that on your own serve because you save a lot of energy. Now Justin's got to come right back and serve. You can tell he is not happy with the way he played that game. 5 games all.
And it's hot out here today. So oftentimes when you're fresh, when you come off your change, Agassi fresh. Now Gimelstob will have to serve and try and hold his serve after being out in the heat 1 game from the change. So let's see how he handles the pressure now in this 11th game of the 2nd set.
Agassi thought it was wide.
I thought it was wide too, but a friendly call for Gimelstob.
Aces for Gimelstob, and that was a very shaky call on the sideline. We both thought it was wide. Another big serve. 117 miles per hour. 30 love. And suddenly, Leaf, we've got 6 points that have gone extremely fast here. No rallies at all. Didn't like the call.
Boy, Barry, and I thought that ball was good.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm glad I'm not working the lines today. I tell you, it's tough for these linesmen and women to be sitting out here as long as I remember. It's very hot out there today. This court gets very hot. This cement, and they're trying to do their best, but certainly it is a challenge when the ball's flying across the lines at the pace that these guys hit the ball at. It's a tremendous challenge for these linesmen. They enjoy what they do, and they're committed to it. These linesmen only get better as the week progresses, so hopefully they're at their best during these big matches. Boy, that's a break for Gimelstob there. In the first set, Agassi was knocking that one for a winner.
With a few mishits off the Agassi forehand return, and so now Justin at 40-15 could be looking at a tiebreak. Yes, down the center. Ace number 6 for Gimelstob. When we return, Agassi serves to stay alive in this set. 6-5 Gimelstob. Let's go across to Vince Van Patten. Vince.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm finally cooling off. There's a nice breeze up here. Yeah, you know, this tournament, I remember this tournament when it was the Pacific Southwest, and they used to play at the old LA Tennis Club, and it was great. When I came out here from New York when I was 12 years old, I saw Pancho Gonzalez at age 42 play Jimmy Connors in the final, and that kind of hooked me on tennis. From there, it's gone to Poly Pavilion, and now to this beautiful stadium that seats 6,400 people. And it's great to see the evolution of that.
15 love.
Well, I tell you, my colleague Leif Shira said some of the players from our era didn't hit that hard. Vince just mentioned a guy named Pancho Gonzalez. And I can tell you, Pancho Gonzalez, and you saw him, Vince, at age 12, this guy was one of the most powerful players ever to play the game. He really did have natural power. 30 love Agassi. That's too good.
Oh, that's just great tennis now from both players. They've really found their games, particularly Gimelstob. Again, this is a good point from Gimelstob. That volley sits up a little bit in the middle of the court. But again, he's making Agassi hit some tough shots.
Here's the winner.
And Agassi playing well. If again, see how that ball dips? That's what that top spin that has pace. He hits it hard and dips it down. You know, Barry, talking about some of the great players. Well, I'd love to have seen them play with the equipment they use now.
Yeah.
Graphite rackets that move through the air quickly where you can generate more racket head speed. And those guys would have been belting the ball even harder than they did, I'm sure.
Speaking of great players, Rod Laver, hopefully watching today. If you are, Rod, all the best from all of us here at the tournament. Just long.
When you talk about a power player, Rod Laver with some free-flowing strokes from both sides, particularly off the backhand. What a beautiful shot.
That was a classic shot. I'll tell you, he hit a few running forehands down the line, I can tell you, because I watched a few of them go by at crucial times. 40-15, Agassi trying to get to a tiebreak. Just long.
Laver always used the old Max Ply Fort, and then he went to a Kemmel, the metal racket. I thought it was a revolution.
Oh, yes, Agassi. He saw Gimelstob move over and hit that ball out wide.
Well, again, Agassi playing aggressively himself, and a good game from him here to get into the tiebreaker. That's going to give him a little boost of confidence. If you look at the tiebreak record of these guys, both guys obviously like to play these breakers. Gimelstob likes to use his serve. Although he has struggled, Agassi comfortably at 9-6. Agassi trying to close it out. Gimelstob trying to get into a third set.
Lots of time. The short ball gives Agassi that extra time, and he just drills it up the line.
1-0 Agassi.
In this shot here from Gimelstob, well, you cannot give Agassi that kind of time. He really waits for Gimelstob to move, and he sees the open court and just nails it right there.
You can see Gimelstob moving to his left, and then Andre just waits for that, hits it up the line. 1-0, mini tiebreak. Mini break, I should say, in the tiebreak. That's long. Now Agassi jumps to a 2-0 lead. But it was all set up by that 98-mile-per-hour slice serve out wide.
3-0.
Again, Agassi opens up the court, little slice wide. Look at all the court he has to hit into. He's not going to make a mistake on that in the second set tiebreaker.
3-0 Agassi, a must point coming up for Gimelstob right here. Net court, and it goes wide. Tough break for Justin. If that ball doesn't hit the net, it's a good shot out wide. Now 4-0 Agassi. My colleague Leif Shiras is heading courtside just in case this match might end. We'll try and get a word from the winner. Second serve. Oh, that's great. He'll get it. And an open court, and so Agassi keeping that ball in play makes Justin look up into the sun.
4-1 Agassi.
Another look here. He's a low shot. Now watch Agassi just barely gets his racket on the ball, wisely puts it up in the air, makes Justin look right into that sun. Not an easy shot. 4-1 Agassi. There is that big high jumping serve out wide to the backhand. Players will change ends after 6 points. Agassi at 5-1. Gimelstob, you see, going to the far side there. It's a little unusual, because in this kind of heat, most players would like to at least grab the towel on the way across. Technically, this tiebreak is all one game. There is no 90-second changeover. One. That's wide. Justin, great play there. He took a chance, hit the short return, and forced Agassi into a quick passing shot, which goes wide. Just long. 121 miles per hour. Justin looks up at Norm Christ. There'll be no overrule. Short ball. And Justin a sitting duck on that little half volley. He got caught, but again, caught by a superb return from Andre Agassi, and now Agassi at match point. This crowd behind Gimelstob at this point, they want this match to continue. serve, backs off, tries to loosen up. It's wide. There it is. A high bouncer. And looks like a fairly friendly handshake after that match from Agassi and Gimelstob. Agassi's got to be happy with that result and with the way he played today as he wins this match in straight sets. 6-love, 7-6, but Gimelstob definitely got back into it in that second set, had a chance. But Agassi played too well in the tiebreak, and so Agassi wins it 6-love and 7-6. So look at our draw now as Agassi awaits the winner of the match we'll have for you tonight on Fox Sports Net, Tim Henman and Raoux from France. And so Agassi into the finals here at the Mercedes-Benz Cup. Stay with us. We're at UCLA. And when we return, we'll talk to this young man who is on a roll, Andre Agassi. Leaf.
Thank you, Barry. Andre Agassi, you brought your exciting brand of tennis to the semifinals today. 6-0 in the first set, 7-6, so a tough second set. What went on out there?
Believe it or not, I felt like it was even a tough first set. I mean, Justin, with the way he serves and his powerful hold game, you know, I got a little lucky on a few crucial points on his serve, managed to sneak a few breaks in a row, but I wasn't under the impression that the second set was going to be easy, and needless to say, he hung in there tough and, you know, made me work to the very end, and the tiebreaker, anything happens, I felt like, you know, I hit a few good shots at the right time.
Well, after a 6-0 set, what does Brad Gilbert tell you when he comes out to say some words to you after something like that?
He says, ditto, do that one more time. But, no, I mean, you know, Brad's been out here playing. He knows that a 6-0 set sometimes is one of the worst things that happen to you out here because it gets you kind of conditioned mentally to thinking it's going to be easy. And the bottom line is, you know, Justin can hold serve as well as anybody in the world. And if he's going to hold serve in that second set, I'm going to have to know what it feels like to hold serve down 3-2, down 4-3, down 5-4. And so, you know, anything can happen at that point.
And of course, in the finals, you play Raoux, the Frenchman, or Tim Henman. What are your thoughts on that semifinal? Do you have any pick who you might face on Sunday?
Well, it seems like Tim's playing rather well. You know, ever since Wimbledon, he seems like he's elevated his game to another level. I would expect him to be the favorite tonight. But, you know, I'm just going to come out here tomorrow and bring my brand of tennis, and I hope that gets the job done.
Now, the crowd loves you in L.A. What's the special association here?
Thank you. Maybe it's because I love L.A.
Andre Agassi.
All right, then.